Come to see how we're getting on? We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching for you. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me? I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
And with that, I say welcome back. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children, I just welcome back to the Bangreen's Gang, as I am Bangreen. I am going on an adventure with Alvinard here. And we're back playing Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. We're going to see if we can't get into this dungeon here. Actually, leave it to me, Wolf. I want you to fresh out our little adventure. Wait for us at the Aether Rite, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. He's going to get Alphino to see if can't do a little adventuring like we originally did. While he does that, I'm going to go mend my ship. I might not have a big enough gear score for this. But we're gonna go find out. Jump in the camera a bit here. Hey boys, what's going on? Greetings, Calzerac. It seems we are accompanying Alvinard to some manner of escapade. Escapade. What it is, but it's escapade. Have you any idea what we got ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No soaring, if you please. Now, the events I speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The king of Run suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Ragnar's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by an unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne to be executed, including his own family. Oh shit. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and they is said the royal treasury hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. I believe the direction of our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. And I would also be correct in assuming the legend is widely known. Others might surely have gone in search for our prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course, we wouldn't be able to personally make the attempt, allowing Alamigo's liberation. More than a few eager soldiers have turned the palace upside down and hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dusk till dawn, they have uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as they came, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end here. There. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine the three of us divulging in the decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. I mean, kind of. We're gonna do this, let's do this. You've learned the emote box. Nice. Alright. The darkness below. Let's keep going. Tenacity, vitality, critical hits. Skill speed, vitality, determination, critical hit, vitality, skill speed. I don't know. You can almost see the wheels turning in Alphino's head. News of Doma and Alamigo's operation kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the empire. Here, the imperial province of Damascus already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in a little diversion? Tell us, Alvinard, have we any clues of where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nothing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we probably need to ask around? Could that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archives and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncover a trove during the occupation, the event is certain to have been reported. In the meantime, you guys can track down those who worked at the palace, servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you'd have to look around for people who've been 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful. To be sure to listen well. Alvar, pray that your luck in the fringes and the peaks, while Calderock makes rounds in Alchemy quarters. And then I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it. We can meet afterwards at Galbard's gate. Okay. We're going. do you say? Aluminium quarters? Yeah. Let's try. Oh, this friggin' warp there. How about that? Screw this walking. Oh, there's friggin' warp there. Middle-aged Highlander, what do you got from me? In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up there at the Divine Audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung on top of those steps. Suffice it to say, he has stayed far away from the palace as possible. Okay. Well, that's a bust. He is, anyway. The mature maid. You know what I'm saying? I like me a good MILF. You want to hear the old maid stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We only see his Royal Majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he ordered. After a while, even watching his enemies die was enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow, wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Okay. I mean, I can get cold sweats. Alright. Where's my horse? There it is. Okay. I got tight quarters. Tired Rogadan. What do you got for me, sir? I served at the pleasure of King Theodetic and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and I sooner forget about it. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing through the inner chambers. Of course, we were under orders to ignore. So, when we stand as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolded within. If you're hell-bent on finding out what happened in that palace, head down the street and ask for Arnold. He's the king's head scribe. You okay? Arnold? Yes, I am Arnold. What do you want with me? Well, you know. You would have me dredge up some this decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if all amigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I should tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodotic's paranoia and public accusations of his kinsman. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's favorite mind set upon him was even a grislier method of disposal, which is only chosen few who, unfortunately enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were cast into darkness below the palace. Even now, they sleep. Their sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodotic's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Okay. Well, that's not good, Odgard. The hell you got us into? There you are. I'm running all over the place here. I can't find you. Since we're all here, why don't you share what you've learned? Well, do you really want to know? Allow me to begin, then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records of any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It's just possible, I suppose, the corrupted official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself. But if I find it rather unlikely that it is so valuable to find it would stay secret for long, I conclude that our prize either does not exist or the Imperial somehow overlooked it. That's my text message. And what have you, Galzerak? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turned into monsters. And when it could be in my darkness beneath the palace, I wonder. I met an old man in Algeria who spoke of the palace and subterranean prison. He said not but accursed abominations. The Imperial archives also were silent and subject to fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning a yarn, do you think? Do you believe him, Galzerak? Sure. His fear seemed genuine, he may be lying. His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how this helps us in our search. Don't be so hasty. Aragon's anecdote may very well told us where the trove is hidden, but here I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. However, you spoke of a light-hearted adventure, but it seems a deeper motive in this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? Somber music. It wasn't all pretense, I swear, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garland blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say I'm an Algamegan, an Algamegan mother. They did not welcome my arrival. Yeah, you're half-breed. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over again, convincing the spot on my skin was a emerging third eye. Like the kind you see in the pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves as to cover the scar. At the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways with Amigo, a feral child who got what he needed through the begging, cursing, or worse. Begging, cunning, or worse. The best I could say about those years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and the road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this, you understand, know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew still and ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare the countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Epilogue, and I apologize. I can't have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to clear out our intentions. Well, Galzerak, are you content to surrendering the treasure to Advar's noble cause and claim the thrill adventure as your reward? Sure. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove, if you mind hearing it. Sure. I'll take that. And with that, we will hear Alphinode's theory next time. So until then, may you always walk in the light of the crystal, and I'll see you online. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're back with Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. We are doing the main story scenario quest, the Epilogue quest, and we're trying to uncover this Mad King III treasure trove. It's supposed to be hidden underneath the Almagan castle, I do believe. Alphinaud has an idea that he doesn't want the money for himself, he wants to help feed the impoverished and poor, which is good in theory. And Alphinaud has figured out where exactly. The thing is, because all of our other attempts has led us nowhere, trying to figure out where the hidden entrance to the treasure trove is. So Alphinaud's going to explain his theory. The Mad King's Trove. Alphinaud seems eager to share his theory. Actually, it may help to be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. In case of a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene to the southern edge of FFXIV. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going outside. Okay. Ever thought the day would come when these gates were open to all? Oh, wish to pass through? Yes. Get on my horse. My horse is amazing. I don't kill it first. Oh, whatever. Alright, Alpha, what do you got? Forgive me. It was not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight when I was explaining things. Prior to the Great Flood and the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lake you see here before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of an ancient ceiling of Skyla, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. For which we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by the war, yet the ruins remain to this day at the bottom of FFXIV. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by the theoretics, former scribe, was not a reference to prison, but a place that's still further below, the ruins of Skyla. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kingsmen were cast down there not simply for our desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Gotcha. Wait, so you're saying that they were meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely. Since we know the court third was involved, we can safely assume the entrance to the old city would have been magically concealed. Which explains how the legions of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alchemicans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have a certain advantage, which they did not enjoy. Kalzarak, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lock and search for the underground route to the ruins? While you do that, Alvar and I will seek out the unscorched portal within the palace. And I will be right back. Alright. Let's do this. What do you say? So we're going up there. Cause I'm gonna have to die. Die. Hang on. Alright, I think I found it. We're getting to it anyway. Discovered a passage that appears to lead underneath the palace foundation. Press on. Find out where it goes. Okay. That's the plan, Stan. Stone door. Get to one stone door, standing temporarily ajar. It appears you found an entrance to the subterranean ruins. Okay. Kalzarak, South Node. You researched the prison beneath the palace and found the door concealed by enchantment. So you ought to report? Yes, I do. And you believe we're really into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed with our protective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Come on, lads, we might as well make it a race. Factory goes to the first venture to find the treasure. Godspeed. Exactly. Oh, I have to be level 300. Alright. Well, I have to grind a little bit more. Until then, folks, I will see you online.